did you think of lunch?
Oh, it was lovely. That chicken and bacon.
It was what?
That chicken and bacon.
The chicken and bacon, yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Right, if you just pull your mic towards you.
Yes.
Are your slippers in view?
They're
I'm happy to bring it up now you mention it.
They're the actual shoes. It's the socks was more...
Oh, fluffy socks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have swapped them though.
You have. Can I see as evidence? Oh, yeah, they're not so fluffy anymore.
Yeah.
I love it. It's funny how everybody sort of looks at everyone else when they're doing it and you're like, oh, God, I can see what
I see what they mean.
they've gone through and now I need to change something. It's funny. It's funny. But, yeah, thank you for taking the time to travel down here anyway. Whereabouts are you based? Remind me, is it Chester?
So we're in the northwest. Yeah, so office is Warrington, but yeah, I'm Chester. So it's about 6 hours.
It's a long time, yeah. And where did you stay last night?
I stayed in Reigate.
Okay.
So I thought it'd break up the journey, but I was saying before, I didn't realise it would be an hour and a half from Reigate. Obviously I saw on the maps, but I just thought everywhere down south would be quite close together. So I was like, as if there's an hour and a half left.
Yeah, so yeah, everywhere up north is close together, isn't it? It's all kind of Manchester, Liverpool.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Stoke and...
It's probably just as painful for you going up anyway, so...
yeah, the M25 is an absolute nightmare.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I went to Woking 2 days ago to film a podcast with a client, and it should have been an hour and a half journey. It took me 2 hours 20 at least to get there. Yeah, that's the M25. No, you've got the journey to do, haven't you, Deborah? Do you mind doing the fan as well? Sorry, Deborah.
Do I need to do that?
Switch it off, please.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Cool. So, home instead then. What's your job title now? Because I knew you, I sort of known you for a little while in the industry and saw you at a franchise show and said hi a couple of times. And I think you're like a franchise development manager or something along those lines. So what's your job title nowadays?
So I'm head of franchise development. So that means...
Yeah, I was going to say, what does that actually mean?
So that means that myself and the team, we are always looking for new franchisees. So whether they're buying a new business or an established business as a resale. Within Home Instead, we also have set up our own brokerage firm, which is quite unusual. And for those that... Brokers hate me saying this, but for those that don't really know what a brokerage does, it's a little bit like an estate agent for a business.
Yeah.
So I manage that business as well, which is fun. I feel like when I came into franchise recruitment, I don't know what other people think, but for me, you kind of get your head around the concept of recruiting for your brand and what that means for the business and all the kind of regular questions that come in. And then that tends to be the same. So you're kind of having the same questions over and over.
Yeah.
And then and I felt I got my head around it. And then you bring in resales, which are existing businesses, and they've all got their different ways of doing things and their different financials, etc. And then you kind of get your head around that. And then you're like, right, and now we've got this brokerage firm and we've got to look at valuations and all these different pieces. So it's been really fun. Like whenever I felt, okay, I can kind of catch my breath and I know what I'm doing, I'm then onto a new thing, which I really like because otherwise I would have been...
Yeah, things become stale and stagnant, don't they? Yeah. So did you know about franchising before you joined Home Instead, or was that something that you developed as you joined them?
Kind of. So my granddad had his own franchise.
Okay, which one?
So it was a Mercedes franchise.
Okay, yeah.
And at the time, I just remember, I wouldn't really know how to describe what my granddad did. I'd be like, oh, he works at Mercedes, and on the car, his name on the sticker, his name on the sticker.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand what it was, obviously, I was just a child. But I remember when I got into franchising, I remember him being so proud that I was in that same sector as him. And obviously Mercedes franchises was very different.
Yeah.
But I like having that kind of nod to him. So I knew about it. And then, you kind of vaguely remember in business studies, there was a chapter on it. I think there's very little on it in terms of education. I think we could do a lot more because it's so accessible for a lot of people. Instead of setting up your own business from scratch, it's much less intimidating. So I knew a little bit, but obviously learned so much coming into Home Instead.
Yeah. How did you find the job with Home Instead? Was that you seeked them out, or was it?
It was pure luck.
Yeah.
It was honestly pure luck. So Martin, who is our CEO, he loves telling the story. So I am somebody, if you didn't know, who loves being on time, who loves being prepared.
You did get here like a good few hours before your episode, which is good. I like it.
So I'm not. It panics me when I'm not organised and I don't know what's happening. And so I came through a recruitment agency, and there were a few things that I was looking at, and they gave me the address of a franchise office. So I went to the franchise office.
Oh, okay.
They were recruiting for care professionals who provide care. So I said, I'm here for my interview. And they were like, great, take a seat. So our receptionist, Wendy, who's amazing, she's been here for, 16, 17 years, probably longer. Martin was calling her to say, where's my interview? Wendy's saying she's not here. He's calling the recruitment agency saying, where is she? They're calling me. I'm saying, I'm here. Like, they've told me to take a seat. Anyway, so I was about an hour late for my interview.
Oh, no.
But I really was just so lucky to fall into franchising. I was looking at Home Instead and also Man United. I was having interviews with them as well.
Okay.
And I just walked into Home Instead and I met a franchisee on my first interview. Like, I just loved it. I knew it was for me. I wanted to help people. And I think, are you helping people in Man United? Probably not. I don't know if I should say that, though. I just think in franchising as a sector, you're always with people, you're always helping people in some way, regardless of what your role is in this sector. And I just love that. I'm such a people person.
You said about you get panicked when you're worried you're going to be late for something or you don't know what's going to happen. Where does that come from? Is that something you've always had? Has there been an experience in your life where it's made you kind of go, yeah, I'm not doing that again?
So, I don't know. I'm one of 4. So, which when I was younger was quite unusual. And I remember because I was one of 4, we were all, and both my parents had their own businesses. So there was a lot going on for them.
Yeah.
So I always remember we would turn up, we would always be late, and we'd always be really loud, and we were always like looked at. And probably from there, I always want to be like prepared and have everything. I think probably.
Yeah, trying to not have those experiences where you're getting people look at you because you sound late, maybe.
I guess I feel like knowledge is empowering. So if I'm planned and I'm ready, I'm not gonna, I don't know. So something like this is like quite scary to me because I don't know what's going to be asked. Whereas Deborah was saying like a presentation will be like, she'll hate it. That for me is fine because I can prepare as much as I want and then I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I've seen you present a few times. It's pretty natural, easy, smooth. Yeah, it's good.
Thanks.
So yeah, perhaps that's interesting about the planning side of things, though, and feeling in control of that.
Yeah, I don't know where I haven't always been like this. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's born just planning stuff, though, are they? Like they're not ready from day one. But I think I used to be really disorganised, and once started to identify that in yourself and go, actually, the people that are doing good stuff are generally pretty organised. They're pretty planned out. They know they're in control of what's going on. I then kind of was like, right, I've got to do stuff like, I guess with faults as well. So my memory is not so great all the time. So if it's not on my calendar, I'm forgetting it basically. So I now am heavily reliant on whatever goes into the calendar. So
I think it's definitely got worse since I've had a child as well. Like I feel like my needing to plan has got a lot worse.
Oh really? Okay.
I think so, yeah. Because then I guess you've got more going on, so you want to make sure that you've got everything sorted and be prepared.
And how old's your child?
So he's 3.5.
3.5. And what's his plan? Have you got that mapped out, or?
He can choose some of it. I think.
You can choose. I like the way you said some of it there. What would you like for him though in his future? Not necessarily in job or anything, but what as a mum would you want to see for him?
I think I just want him to have the childhood I had. So I want him to be able to just have time with his parents. So so my partner and I, we are both employed, and my role is much more flexible than his is. So I want to be at every school play. I want to be able to pick him up from school, everything like that. And I want him to be able to have opportunities as well. Obviously, you need to say no to your kids, but when it comes to, I can't remember, Deborah will know, or you probably will know, it was about music classes in schools. So they are now stopping because of budgets. I don't know if this is around the UK, but they're stopping music classes. And so kids that would really flourish in that environment will never have that opportunity because they may not be able to afford music classes. And
maybe afford the instruments.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases,
Such a good point. And I just think that's awful because a music class, like I remember my music classes, like you'd go in and you'd like try out the violin and you'd go and do the piano and whatever. And it was such a creative space. And I feel that's really sad that people can't have those kind of opportunities. I'm not just saying just music, but there's like sports and different things. And I want to be able, if he says, I want to do that, and hopefully he doesn't say something like really expensive, like horse riding or, I don't know, motocross racing or something. But I want to be able to say, yeah, let's do it. Great.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a really good way to look at it. I think some people want them to have the kids to have money or, big house but I think a lot of the time that's driven from what they've not had themselves in the past.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you had a good upbringing and good childhood, and you just want to replicate that for them.
Yeah, and like I know I'm incredibly lucky. I grew up in a really lovely home, in a really lovely family, and hopefully they know I'm very, very grateful to my parents. I do say it a lot.
You can say it to camera if you want, and we'll just clip that bit out.
Thank you. No, but every birth, I'm not great with talking about my emotions. So I get quite awkward. I can't really make eye contact. It's I get a bit uncomfortable, and that's something I'm really, really working on because I think it's really important. But so every birthday and Christmas, it's like a little card that I write to them.
Oh, nice. That's cool. That's good. So you mentioned about music. Do you play any instruments?
I don't. So when I was younger, I played a little bit of piano.
Okay.
But I remember you saying that you have not just recently, but fairly recently started to teach yourself guitar.
It's about 5 years ago now.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably during lockdown. I'd done a bit when I was younger, but that was not, I didn't really do it properly.
Yeah.
And then I've had about 1 year's worth of tutoring within that as well. So
I think that's probably similar to me with piano, and it's something that, in the back of your mind, I would like to get back into. And I've seen these things, I don't know if anyone's seen them online, but they're they're tiny little mini keyboards. You can stick them in your handbag, and you can buy more if you wanted to, but it also teaches you through an app on how to play the piano.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I think that's something I'd like to get into again. But the other thing, and I'm not going to do it, but the other thing I love doing is singing. So I sing all the time.
Is this a personal thing or something you do at pubs or something like that, or karaoke bars?
So I've obviously listened to your podcast, so I'm not on Emma's level at all. No, I'll only really sing in front of my family. But no, I'm not I'm all right, but I'm not gosh, she's good. No way.
Is it something you need to have a drink to, lower the inhibitions and that kind of thing, or?
I don't know. I just sing. I'll sing at home, the car, all the time. We're all, as a family, we're always dancing. We're either dancing or hiding. And then I'm always singing. Sounds like a really weird family.
No, that's pretty much, that's what I've done a lot with my kids, especially when they're younger.
Nice. Well, I suppose.
So I was going to say with that, is there a kids program that you've got the theme tune of that you sing to them regularly?
No, no.
I did it this morning to my kids, an old one.
What theme tune?
Rah Rah, the lion.
I haven't seen that one.
It's not. I'm not singing it now. But yeah, they're too old for it, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, no." But yeah, I sing at them a
Some
lot.
are good though. Like I don't know if so. I was a Disney kid. I don't know if you remember Kim Possible.
Yes, yeah.
But to be fair, that I still sing that now. That's a great song. If you haven't heard it,
I can't remember it, but I know who Kim Possible is.
it was a great.
I prefer Ben 10, I think, around that
Oh,
time.
yeah.
I was probably a little bit too old to be watching that. It was hangover, like TV, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I think I was definitely you. It's like a little bit of your childhood, isn't it, where you like cling on to it. But I think that's kind of music for me. Like, I probably for everyone, like music for me is so linked to like different memories and different parts of my life, and I just love kind of reopening that box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. It's nice. And you're not going to sing, did you say?
No. So I'm really awful at like accents. Like I could never do like a Scouse accent or a Mancunian accent, and I'm absolutely awful. But when I'm singing, I can do like
You could do the accents, yeah.
so I can like
I suppose you listen though and understand the tone that they put into their voices, and so you just replicate.
Yeah, it's really easy.
And it's repeated, isn't it? Whereas when you're talking to somebody, they're saying something different every time with a different cadence and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah. So I don't talk about singing at all, and now the whole world.
That's it. Now everyone's going to want to know. Next franchise event, everyone's going to be like, right, get the karaoke machine out.
I'm not very good. I just really enjoy it.
What sort of songs do you like to sing?
Loads. So I love singing Tom Jones. I don't know, just like stuff. I guess because my mum used to do it as well. Like it just reminds me, I suppose. I'm like her clone. So yeah, Tom Jones is good to sing to. Taylor Swift's good to sing to, but I know you don't really like her.
See, you've prepped, haven't you, by listening to all the episodes?
Yeah.
I don't like Taylor, so I'll have to sing something else.
No, Elton John's good to sing to.
Yeah.
Phil Collins, loads of stuff.
All the classics, then, like.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everyone watching this is going to be willing her to sing. Everyone's going just a little bit.
No, because it's not very good. Like it's.
I'll sing with you. I'm not very good, but I like singing. I enjoy it. I normally need a beer. Yeah. No, I think you got to join in too. We all got to have a sing.
We can all sing "Rah Rah the Lion."
I'm not singing that now, no. But like, there's somebody I used to work with, Emma. She's quite into singing, and she's quite good at singing, from what I gather. We always talked about finding a karaoke bar somewhere. So if that ever happens, and it's around a franchise show or something like that, we'll get you involved.
What is the best gift I got for my son? You've probably seen them online. They're like a tiny little speaker, and you've got two microphones, and they attach by Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the best. So me and my sister will just take a microphone each, and then because you can play your Spotify through the speaker and put it on like karaoke. So maybe I'll accidentally pack that show.
On the Saturday. Can we do that on the Saturday?
Okay, yeah.
In the middle of somebody else's talk, probably. Let's take over the stage and.
Yeah, okay, like a competitors
Yeah.
talk. I'll be like, what?
Oh, brilliant! That's a nice little segue though into asking what's it like being an employee and looking at your competitors, and do you feel that they're doing stuff wrong, and it's like, oh, how could, I don't know, there's probably no animosity there at all. I feel like you're too nice a person to have that in you at all, but do you ever kind of look at them and think, wow, they're doing so well, or actually they're bringing the standards down in the industry and I'm worried that it's not good for what we're doing?
I think what's really, I don't want to say good about care, but because it's not good. There are so many older people that need care. And so there's, oh my gosh, is that okay?
Yeah. It's falling to bits. The set is falling to bits slowly.
I am scared of the guitar.
It'll be all right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So there's so much in the market that you would never ever be scrabbling over somebody needing care. And I also think we're all very set in our niches. Like if you know care, you know what you're looking for. Like, you know which brand
Yeah.
would be best. So if somebody came to me and said, these are my needs and this is kind of how I feel and blah, 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 you'd kind of know which brand would be best for that person to go to. So it's like that for care, but it's also like that when it comes to the recruitment of those franchisees, because you're finding that same person.
Yeah.
So obviously, I haven't been at Home Instead for 12 years. I'm very loyal. So in a joking way, if somebody went from Home Instead to a different brand, you're dead to me. In a joking way, obviously. Like, I love seeing them at the shows. So our competitors are all lovely. Like, I feel like people think we're all really fake when we say that, but they generally are so lovely, and you want them to succeed, and they're all doing things to better the lives of older people. And not, you know, when they win an award and you're up for it as well, you think, damn it, but you're still happy for them to have won that award, because it's putting franchising and care a little bit higher on the map.
Yeah, it must be quite a nice industry to work in, and I guess that's got to come from the top. The people who've started the companies, they're driven by care, I'd imagine, in providing a better level of care. So the people they employ and their whys and values should be aligned to that. So I guess the industry must be full of people that care. So
Yeah.
a lot of people love the franchising industry because it's quite a tight-knit community in many ways and get along with each other. Which do you prefer? Which, if you were to like just separate out from your job that you're in at the moment, would you rather go into the care sector or into the franchising world more?
So I don't really get that involved in the care sector. I probably did. So I started off in Home Instead in marketing. So I did then. I didn't really look at I didn't really see the franchising sector at all. So I can't really have a comparison because I'm so much more involved in the franchising sector. But for me, it'd be franchising. Like, that's just my passion, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's all about like business growth, coming together, networking. I love all of that, and care is amazing, but I just don't think it's got the same collaboration. I think franchising is such a niche sector. I think we've all got our wider sectors that we're a part of, but then we're all linked through franchising. I don't think there are any other sectors that are like work together the way we do.
There's not any I can think of. There might be, but yeah, not many, if any. So yeah, it's interesting. So you started in marketing.
Yes.
But did you end up doing the franchise recruitment calls yourself?
So I was in marketing, and I think when I started there must have been like 20 of us at national office, and we had about 120 franchisees, maybe a little bit less. So I was in marketing, loved it, loved the franchisees. Sorry, someone's calling me on Apple Watch. Okay, sorry.
It's all right, no worries.
Do you want me to start again?
No, keep going. Well, I'm not editing this, so.
Okay. So yeah, and then I mean, I speak to our CEO. I mean, we're all close, especially at that size as a business. You're all quite close together as a team anyway. And I think he could tell I wanted a bit more. And then amazingly, Ruth, who is now our COO, but she was going on maternity leave, and they were like, we need someone for the role, and we think we can teach you how to do it. And yeah, that's how I got into franchise development, franchise recruitment.
So with the franchise development side, that sounds
more
to go, isn't it?
To start. Do you want me to tug at it?
No, we'll leave it. I think it's right.
Okay.
This makes for a good podcast, doesn't it? Like,
it's for the audio listeners. There's this beautiful sign saying the franchise podcast, and it was hanging on by 4 wires. Yes, and 3 of them have now gone.
I have to sack the set designer, aren't I now? So on the franchise development side, were you doing the calls yourself, or was you more focusing on the marketing side of that?
No, so within our franchise development team, we have our marketing and our recruitment together. So the larger kind of client-facing marketing team didn't really get involved with our marketing.
Yep.
So yeah, it was just like calling people, texting people, and then doing all the marketing.
Oh, so you were the team.
Yeah. Well, only while Ruth was off, and then she came back. And
yeah, that's okay. I mean, similar journey to me, really. So I worked with Era Group, as they're now known, 1,000 franchisees around the world now. I joined as their franchise recruitment marketing coordinator for the EMEA region.
Okay.
So that's
the EMA.
EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Okay, that's a big role.
Yeah, I mean the territories weren't huge. Like they'd have a country manager or area developers, as most people would know them, and it was their responsibility to do the recruitment. But what I would do is create collateral to support them with that.
Okay.
But because they always needed English speakers, the collateral being in English was fine. The country manager speaks them in language, but they needed to have that English language anyway. But yeah, it was interesting, and I was marketing coordinator, so basically that meant marketing team.
Yes.
And then there was a salesperson that was supporting the area developers and the franchise recruiters in the UK and other countries. So neither of us actually were involved in the recruitment until lockdown happened. My colleague got furloughed, and then I was the franchise recruitment marketing department for the EMEA region. And then we realised that some of the country managers actually just needed a bit of help to get in contact with people a little bit quicker, because they were running their own businesses and trying to recruit people and look after franchisees. So they're a little bit time poor. So we came in and, I came in and was doing calls for them, and I identified that we needed somebody a little bit more junior to do all the qualification calls, because we were generating about 3,500-4,000 leads a month.
Wow, God.
Across our territories. And so it was, I couldn't manage all of that. So we had someone doing the qualification, and then I was coming in and I was probably doing 40 to 50 franchise recruitment calls a month across all sorts of different countries. So yeah, it's a lot, isn't it, though? My point of telling you that story is it's actually a lot to have your head going in all those different directions and trying to stay on top of it all, isn't it? Like,
well, what I was going to say with the calls, you've got like the people that you speak to who are amazing. You just think, oh, they get it. And then you have these people who are just, you almost don't even know why they've applied. Like, I don't even sometimes think they know what they've applied for.
Yep.
And you've got that kind of high of an amazing call, and then you're like, oh God, why am I doing this? When you have a terrible call, and then you get another one, you're like, yes, great. But so Luke and my team, he does the calls now, and you kind of see, it's interesting seeing somebody go through the journey that you've gone through. So having that, oh, I just can't be bothered with another call. And I'm saying to him things that Ruth would say to me, like, every lead is gold dust.
yeah,
This might be a terrible call, but the next one's on its way. And you can see him kind of getting out of that as well and saying, yeah, I've had loads of really great calls, and that energy's there. I think it's a role, just generally franchise recruitment, where you need to be buzzy and happy and energetic, and otherwise you're not going to that's not going to translate to the person on the other end of the phone.
I think it helps if you're passionate and enjoy and believe in what you're talking about. So for me, I actually loved the model era. It's for someone with my background, I looked at it and was like, okay, this is something that I could really leverage this, because you'd work with other franchisees to deliver projects. There'd be one person who leads the sales and client management side of it, and then the other one that's more of an expert, and another one maybe that's a project manager. So I wasn't so good on the project management or technical side, but if I could develop clients, it looked like a great product to be able to sell all these, very smart, intelligent people. But I mean, for me, it wasn't feasible, really affordable. But yeah, so I truly believe in that as a great business model, and that makes it so much easier to sell and have passion. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm speaking to prospects, I'm sharing my thoughts on things. I would say to them, actually, I'd love to be doing something like this, because I'm similar background to you. I've got a sales and recruitment style background. What I don't have is that delivery side. Well, here it's built in. You can tap into that and, yeah, probably do pretty well and enjoy working with these ex-CEOs of PepsiCo and things like that, to deliver projects. So that when you're able to talk to people about that and with passion and actually the truth, I'm not talking rubbish to them, it worked really well. We but anyway, yeah, we start to turn around a lot of the countries and recruit a lot more. I won't say all the numbers, but yeah.
Am I allowed to ask how you got into franchising?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
How did you get into franchising?
Yeah, there we go. So I was in recruitment, international recruitment, and I got to the point where I hated it because I was bashing my head against the wall doing a lot of calls. Admittedly, when I look back now, in the wrong way, but it was the way we were taught. There's a lot of cold calling, and I didn't enjoy it. And so I sat down, wrote all my values down, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, what I enjoy, what I don't enjoy. And yeah, I think I did one of these online things trying to work out what career path I should take and all this kind of stuff. And I worked out that it was digital marketing or something in the creative space that I wanted to be at, because it's constantly changing, something new to learn. You could be creative, and yeah, all of this kind of good stuff that matched up. So I tried for 18 months to get in with marketing agencies, but marketing agencies don't want a 30-something recruiter to do their marketing for them, you know. So in the end, I took a pay cut to join expense reduction analyst because they liked my international experience. The recruitment side, they saw value in that as well. And yeah, they're willing to give me a go. So that's how I got into the industry. I didn't know anything about it, and in fact, expense reduction analyst sounds really boring, and I was like, why am I going to do this? I nearly didn't go for the interview, but as soon as I met the guys, like, they were all awesome there. And yeah, then 6 months in, I got annoyed about this thing called franchising that I'd discovered, and then it wasn't too long after that I decided that I should do a podcast, and that's it then.
Yeah.
People probably know the rest of it from there. But yeah, so what did you enjoy about franchise recruitment? What parts of it is your favourite?
So I still definitely do parts of it. I think I just being around people kind of like charges me up, if that makes sense, like a battery.
Yeah.
So I love kind of bouncing. I'm better on one-to-one than groups as well. So franchise recruitment is primarily one-to-one as well.
Yeah.
So having those connections with people, I just really enjoy. And then I think it does sound a bit cheesy, but I just really, really love bringing somebody into the network and basically into their dream. And then you see them up on stage getting their award and whatever they're doing, and you just think, this is why I do it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I had that earlier this year, so gone back and work with expense reduction analysts now, or era group, should I say, to do filming with them. And there was a few people that when they joined, it sort of was like, oh no, it's not going as well as we'd hoped. And then yeah, a year or two later, all of a sudden they are one of the top performing ones in the whole network. You're like, wow, I'm so proud of them. Not that they necessarily remember me that much, but it's
I think they do.
Some of them do. And it's like, oh, there's my little baby's grown up now. Not, but you know what I mean? Like,
You mean, yeah, and it feels ridiculous us thinking that way because, I mean, we know it's them that have done it.
Yeah, 100%. But you were there at the start.
Help them on that journey, which I think is very rewarding.
Help them to make the right decision.
Yeah,
definitely. It's interesting what you're saying about you prefer one-to-one conversations as well. So I'm the same. I love a room full of lots of people because you're forced to mainly speak to one other person because you can't talk in a group of 10. When there's 10 people around, I find it a little bit... I go quiet. I shrink into the background a lot.
I do, and then I feel that I'm then trying to put pressure on myself to say something as well. And then I think, so moving to head of franchise development, I'll be in situations where I am the voice of authority.
Yeah.
And this is probably like the imposter syndrome creeping in, but I just think I'll sometimes then just like text my friend or speak to my partner and just say, and they're all looking at me for the answer. And I know it, but it feels so weird. Just, I don't know, because I'm so much better on one-to-one that when I'm in that situation where there are multiple people and they're all like looking for me and I'm like, yeah, okay, so we need to do X, Y, Z and this is the plan and da-da-da-da. I'm getting better and better at that. But then I think in a kind of social setting, I'm not as good as being that big voice.
Yeah, but you're in your role there. You're there for a reason, right? Like,
Yeah.
you've proven yourself that you've got the capabilities, the soft skills to lead and manage. So maybe that reduces the imposter syndrome a little bit. But yeah, you should always remember that you're there for a reason. It's like, people don't promote other people just for fun of it, like, and to see them fail, do they? They especially when it's business, they want the revenue to come through and continue going through, or get better, or grow the business, whatever it is. And yeah, they're not going to put some Wally at the top, are they? Do you know what I mean?
I think I am probably. So I said earlier, I'm trying to be more open with generally just how I'm feeling, because I think that's a much better way of connecting with people. So from like a personal side, I've seen you, how do I say this? In kind of my group of friends, I've always been, a lot of my friends are very loud and very like passionate, but just very, very loud. And that can be quite difficult to also be a voice.
Yeah.
And I think as I've, so now I'm in a very different chapter of my life. I now have a family, and none of them are ready for that yet, which is absolutely fine. But I've seen our priorities change, and my voice, and perhaps how what I want to say, is probably less heard, which is okay because they're not in that chapter. And I think I'm going on a complete tangent here. It's completely
No, you're right. It's cool.
But I've started to realise that actually when you feel like that in a situation, it's actually not you, it's probably them, and you can remove yourself from that position. So I'm starting to realise that actually, if you don't feel that your voice is heard, that might be a you thing, but it also might be just the wrong situation for you right now.
I took a decision some time ago because I identified that I could dominate conversations at times with friends, because I wanted that one-to-one connection, right? So I just would almost be over the top with everybody else, or my brain sort of goes so fast that I just pick up on something, and I wanted to say what I wanted to say really quickly. So I took a conscious decision to try and not do that so much, and just step back and allow other people the space to talk and to listen and learn more, from them. But in my group of friends, that just means we all sit there quiet. It's what happens a lot of the time, but it's interesting, isn't it? Like, yeah, I think you're self-aware. That's the thing, and sometimes that comes with just growing up. Sometimes it comes with having kids and things like that. But
yeah, I definitely think it's a growing up thing where you think, actually, I just can't be bothered anymore with certain elements, and I'm going to just choose what I want to prioritize.
Yeah, no, it's good, it's true. But yeah, so with Home Instead, then I'm going down the serious business route here, right? Okay. So it's one of the biggest brands in the UK, right? I think there's some that have got more franchisees.
Do you mean in franchising?
In franchising. Yeah, I know there's care brands that are larger, but in the franchising industry, it's one of the big brands. It's one of the most well respected, always winning some of the top awards and things like that. As far as I'm aware, all of your territories are almost pretty much full up, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So I've got 10 left.
What's the magic sauce? What's the secret? Like, what do you think it is? I know there's probably multiple things, and you can't say all the ins and outs, but what do you think is kind of the key to success for Home Instead?
I think what it comes down to is the culture. So you've kind of got this inner beating heart in the business, and everybody that comes to national office aligns with that. So for us, one of my colleagues, he says this all the time, I can just tell when someone's going to leave. That's what it says all the time. Because if you don't fit with the culture, you're just not like, if you're not in it for people, then you're not really going to be with us long term.
Stick out like a sore thumb, I guess. Yeah,
and that's okay. Like, that's not for everybody. So it comes down to this beating heart, and then with that, it's so easy to identify who would be a good franchisee. and really importantly as well, who would not be. So you're only letting people into the network that really will want to make a difference.
Do you have franchisees come in that, do they meet the team?
Yeah, so they'll meet Luke first, then they'll meet me, and then they'll meet our COO Ruth and our CEO Martin. But that recruitment process is still kind of ongoing, and I think people don't really realise that. So they'll then meet the wider team. They still haven't signed or paid it yet, but I think they kind of think, oh, I can relax a little bit. And obviously the ones that are right, they're relaxing into themselves, which we've already seen, and we think they're perfect. And if anyone's been putting a bit of a mask on, that becomes very apparent that actually that happens very very little. But yeah, you know, if somebody's coming in and acting in a certain way that we don't think would be right, we will just shut that relationship down because it's too much to risk. So then I think that culture filters down into their offices, and that's where it breeds from, I would say.
Yeah, all having the same purpose, all pulling in the same direction. Yeah. That's important, isn't it? And I think that's something that I've seen certain brands not do, is introduce franchisees to the head office team. And I say it quite often. I think it's one of the most important things for a franchisee to do, but also for the franchisor, because as a franchisor, you can all kind of get a sense of what this person's like, and there's no hiding. There's no hiding when they've got to spend a day or half a day with a group of people. At some point, if they're not quite right, it's going to show, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've said this quite recently. I think it was on a power hour with some franchisors. I think as you get larger, you're then bringing on more people into we call it a national office, but I suppose your head office.
Yeah.
You're going to attract people who don't come from franchising, and that's so good because you're exposing more people to what a great concept franchising is. But you need to educate them and get them on board with what we're doing, because if they don't understand franchising, they're never going to, be able to onboard franchisees onto a new idea or a new initiative or whatever that is.
And how to interact with them, because it's a completely different mindset being a franchisee to being a pure self-started business owner or an employee. It's a different mindset, and
And we've had people come in and say, right, we need to get this done, this done, and this done. So I'm going to tell so we're very stern on our language as well. It's offices, it's never ever branches. We're not a branch. So someone coming in might say, right, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. So I'll send a memo to the branches and that'll all be done by next Wednesday. Well, no, that doesn't get done in franchising. It's a partnership. You have to really build up those relationships and get them to trust you. And I think the way you succeed in franchising is building up that relationship with your franchisees, because I would say the business sector in general, we've gone through a really tough time with the budget increases. And for business owners like franchisees, that's been incredibly stressful for them, especially when they own smaller businesses. And then to then talk to them in a language that scares them and they're not sure of what's going on and they've got all this risk behind them, that's never ever going to get you the outcome that you're looking for.
As well, if somebody goes along to a franchisee and says, you must do this, well, no, I don't, it's my business, thanks. It's understanding that kind of stuff, isn't it? It's they probably do have to do it, but you can't approach it in that way and saying you must. Bring
them on board, market it, sales it.
Yeah, put a slight spin. Yeah, but that's just good communications skills, isn't it?
But then I also think if, as a I'm kind of saying this generally from speaking to franchisors and franchisees, if there's a misalignment between franchisor and franchisee, it might be the time to part ways. And I don't think there's any shame in that. If a franchisee has moved in a different way in terms of their values, or a franchisor has, it's okay to separate that relationship and say, look, it's not going as it should anymore, because you're both just kind of going to be battling each other for however many more years you guys are remaining together.
Yeah. Martin, he's not the founder of the business, is he?
No. So our founders are Laurie and Paul Hogan in the US.
Okay.
And then they did the master franchisor rights, and Trevor and Sam Brocklebank in the UK purchased those rights in 2005.
Right. Okay.
And then Martin joined about 14 years ago
Okay. Yeah.
as our, I don't know his exact title back then, but it was something like head of operations or something like that. And yeah, Trevor, who was the founder in the UK, and Sam. I don't know if you've met Trevor.
I have once or twice, but not for any long period of time.
So for those listening who haven't met Trevor, he's so energetic. Like, he loves being in the detail. He is a natural born entrepreneur, and he just loves it. Like, he's so passionate. He wants everything to be of really high quality and for it to go through him, and that's really understandable as a business owner. And I think they got to the point where having Martin there, they weren't seeing that detail, and it just felt like the right time for them to sell. So we are US owned.
Right. Okay. The reason I was asking is because one of my experiences I look back on being an employee for a large franchise brand was that I was lucky enough to be about 30 meters away from the founder, Fred. You know, I think it was 30 odd years into the brand, and every day he would come along to me with a new idea, super energetic, and he's in his 70s, and always a new idea every day, to the point where while I was there, I was like, oh, geez, Fred, I haven't done yesterday's thing. Stop giving me new stuff. But this always came with lots of stories along the way as well. And I reflect back now and owning a business, actually, some of the best lessons that I've learned were him sort of talking at me, maybe. But I wondered if you had sort of a similar experience where you're at, or if it's slightly different, or if, is it a rare thing that I've come across or not?
No, I am smiling. So Trevor definitely was like that, but Martin and Ruth are as well. Okay. So they'll see something and they'll see maybe a way to do something better or an issue, and they'll just kind of give you a quick message and say, I'm thinking of this, da-da-da-da. You're like, right, okay, let's crack on with that. I suppose, so we are different. So we're not owned, I don't know if you know, we're not owned by our original founders in the US. When they retired, they then sold to a company. So it's definitely different. But what I would say, I suppose, for a lot of people in franchising, you are used to kind of having particular measures in place anyway, and systems. So for us, it hasn't really been that much of a transition, really. We've just become larger, and I suppose that's the big difference. And when you become larger, you become more, I wouldn't say process focused, but it's just,
everything's kind of got its place, hasn't it? And so what if I'm thinking, if I was somebody from the outside potentially looking at two different brands, one, the founder is there and I've got access to the founder to ask them questions, another one is larger, perhaps more like Home Instead, I think I probably, and this might just be me having the knowledge and things that I've got now, I might potentially look at it and go, I've not got access to the person at the front. Is it now just a money machine or not? And I'm not making any accusations, but I'd imagine other people out there are feeling the same. Does it feel like, I'm guessing it doesn't feel like that internally, right? Does it feel like, I guess what I'm asking is, does it still feel like you've all got the same why since that transition?
Yeah, and I think probably more so now. And, Paul and Laurie were amazing, as Trevor and Sam were, like, so passionate, so caring. Laurie and, our original founders were based in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
So it's very religious, very, very white, and their culture was very, very different to ours. So we are now owned by a tech company that provides software for care providers. But obviously now that they own Home Instead, they're building out their own tech platform purely for Home Instead.
Okay, cool.
So, and the founders for there have come into kind of care because of care that they've had previously. So it's still that personal element, and a lot of us coming into Home Instead or Honor, who we're owned by, have had an experience of care as well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it feels different in regards to the passion. I think we just now are owned by a company that understands that the UK is a very different sector, and we're kind of
running almost autonomously, but not.
But I suppose I'm butchering this. The example I always use is I remember being in marketing and the US team sending over loads of images we could use, and it was all white women with big perms and like shoulder pads.
80s style, yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, nobody looks like that in the UK. Absolutely no one. They're like, well, that's what we've got. So whereas now everyone's much more aware, and so I do completely understand your point of some people do want to speak to that founder and have that mentality. And I would say for anybody in that position, if you're looking at perhaps a big brand and then a smaller business with a founder, I would just go and see both and see what that gives you. Because, but I would also say we're looking for a very different franchisee now than we were 15, 20 years ago.
That's the thing. I think the appeal to a larger brand for me is if I want everything in place, no learning along the way, it is almost guaranteed success, as long as you do the right things. Whereas when you've got an early stage franchisor, it can be a bit, we're still sussing it out as we go, right? And that's
like that.
It depends on who you are. I think I'd potentially go veer towards the newer franchisor because I want to change everything. I looked at franchises before and I was like, oh, I'd change that logo, I'd change the message. I'm not going to be a franchisee is where I got to, but I'd think I'd be nearer that end. But then I say that other days I'm sitting there going, I just wish it was all sorted out, this whole thing, and I didn't have to have the stress of sussing it out.
Pausing. I almost don't want to comment because I don't want to come across as salesy at all, because I can absolutely see the benefits of both. Go
on, give me the sales pitch. No. I want to hear it.
No.
I want to hear where the magic is.
I just, Home Instead is, if we look at 15 years ago, we're a very different business to what we were, and we've had to be. So there are services that we would have never done previously that actually we said we're not going to do. We now do, and some of that is based on franchisee feedback as well. So we're always looking at the client and the future client and what they want and what those family members want and how we can accommodate them better. And with the size of the team that we've got, particularly with the US guys behind us, the investment that we have and we're able to utilise is very different. But again, people may want the founders and what that brings.
Sometimes more autonomy with the smaller franchisors as well. You can be a bit more.
Yeah, and it comes back to what I was saying.
Sorry to interrupt, but I was just going to say, kind of, it's the saying horses for courses, isn't it? It's what's good for one person doesn't necessarily mean it's good for the next person, and it's all about, in my mind, finding, do the values align? Can I work with these people? And have they got the right support to be able to offer me? Because the larger ones will have more support. You might need that in certain areas. The smaller ones might have more of that one-to-one, which is the interaction. So, yeah.
And actually, what's good for you right now, probably you shouldn't be, well, maybe you should, but usually you shouldn't be doing the same thing that you were doing 10 years ago. You do need to change.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to, and they almost get left behind from their peers who have changed, who have accommodated, and they kind of wake up one day and say, hey, how's my neighbour, 4 times the size of me? Well, because they've adapted and they've done X, Y, and Z, and, you've kind of put your head down a little bit and just stayed where you are because you're comfortable. And that's okay. But you're right, like our model and our size won't be for everybody. At the same time, everybody won't be. We don't want everybody.
Don't have to answer this one if you don't want to. Okay. But what's been your biggest mistake, therefore your biggest learning in franchisee recruitment? Because I'm sure there'll be some people listening to this that will be interested to learn how you guys have done so well.
So specifically on franchise recruitment, biggest mistake.
Yeah. While you're thinking, I'll share with you mine, shall I? Because that's the other thing. I've got it in my head, but it ties into maybe a little bit of advice or an idea for Luke. So I think the one that sticks in my head is I had a great conversation with somebody. It was going so well. It's supposed to be a 45-minute call. We were into nearly 2.5 hours. conversation. I was like, it feels like they're, it's just a matter of introducing them to a few people and they're on board. And I'd forgotten to ask them when they're available to start. And basically, they weren't ready to start for like 3 or 4 years, which is fine, but I was sitting there thinking, we didn't need to have 2.5 hours today, did we? We needed 30 minutes to get you the idea and then, keep in touch. But that was my biggest mistake. And leading onto the thing with Luke. So what I went back to is what I used to do in recruitment, which is frame the call. So tell people what you're going to cover today and tell them that it's only going to be a 20-minute conversation. This is going to be a 20-minute conversation, and be quite strict. Unless they're really good, then maybe I'll give them another 10 minutes and then draw the line. But yeah, if what that does then is, if you're talking to somebody who's terrible, you're not spending an hour with them. you can frame the call, you can cut it off and say, right, that's our time up.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm really thinking like, oh God, what is my biggest mistake? And obviously I'm just perfect. No, I haven't. Obviously not. I think it's maybe not listening to your gut as much as you should have during that recruitment process, probably. And somebody coming quite far down the process until you feel you've got that evidence to say, no, you're not right, and we're not going to continue. And you felt it earlier on, but you didn't have that concrete. I've got to get better, because that was something I used to dread. And there are certain people that I feel I've really built relationships with that I've had to say, you're not going to be approved. And I still remember them, and I think, I feel awful about that person, because, I did think they'd be good, but it wasn't the right time. But I'm much better now at when I've got that weird feeling, or like, say if I've got an amazing broker as well, and he says, I'm just not sure about this person. And it's just so much easier now for me to just pick up the phone and just say, look, we've had this feedback. I don't think you're going to be right. I don't think it's right that you come up to national office in the next couple of weeks. Whereas previously I would have thought, okay, well, I haven't seen it myself, so I'm going to continue this. And then I see it myself and I'm like, right, okay. Because it's not fair on them and it's not fair on...
Yeah, it's just cutting things short because now's not the right time. Maybe it is in the future, but whatever it is, it feels like you're being mean, doesn't it, at times, especially when they're looking at you kind of like positive and happy and wanting to go forwards, but you've got to protect the brand, everybody, and protect them from themselves, because sometimes people get excited and just jump into things, and it doesn't match up. You're not helping them by carrying on down the line with them and letting them into the network.
I completely agree. And I call myself a recovering people pleaser. So for a very long period of time, I have been a people pleaser. And I've got to the point, and since that story I was talking about in my personal life, where I'm just thinking, actually, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And so I put up boundaries that I feel comfortable with. And it's made things like this a lot easier.
Nice. Right. I think it's that time to bang the drum for franchising. You can sing along if you want to at the same time.
Okay, that might help.
Are we going to get you singing?
No. I'll just come along to the thing. I'll try and... Okay, ready?
Go on then, go for it. Beautiful, lovely. Thank you. So, banging the drum for franchising, what would you like to turn the volume up on?
So this is something that kind of is similar to what Deborah said.
Okay.
I am going to still say it.
Please do.
So I think us as a sector, collectively, there's 950 franchisors in the UK, probably more now. And you're nodding. That's right.
Yeah. I've been 1,000 is the number that I've been hearing lately.
Okay.
But yeah.
Perfect. Well, then we've grown. I just think there are so few people who really understand what franchising is unless you're in the sector. And if I could wave a magic wand, it would be that we are all strategically working together. So I know that schools is too early, but I still think schools should know about franchising and universities. And if we could all split up and take a few schools, a few universities, and we literally do that once a year, not even just schools and universities, that's a completely just niche piece, but we're all just talking about franchising in general at the different kind of care sectors or tuition sectors, whatever it might be. We're all just generally talking about franchising, and I know it's difficult being more strategic with it. I would love that. I think that would have such an impact on franchise inquiries. However, I understand why we don't, because it's a kind of a long marketing strategy. So people aren't willing to do that, especially when we've had such a difficult year in regards to recruitment generally as a franchising sector. So you're going to be looking for those quick wins. But in an ideal world, if we had like this pot and everyone put in like an amount of money that worked for their size, it was all fair, and we use that pot to strategically educate people on franchising, I think it would do our sector so much good 5 years down the line, if not 10.
Yeah, do more working together. It's just difficult though, because everybody's got a business to run, and it's how much spare time can you push into it, and when it's a medium to long term strategy, it's tough, isn't it? Especially because some people might not be in the industry in 2 to 3 years time or something like that. So but it's the same with any form of marketing or sales, really. It's if you tackle social media and just by putting adverts out, you're probably not going to get that much traction. You'll get some quick leads in, but it's not always the best result that you want to get. If you have a campaign that runs consistently, that just educates, maybe even entertains within the education as well, to grab people's attention, 2-3 years time, it's going to be a machine that just keeps on churning out leads. But until that point, it's just spending a lot of money and not getting anywhere. So people do it for 3 months, go, it doesn't work, and gives up. But it's...
By the way, I know it's not a feasible idea. I think and it's probably linking into what do you want to turn the volume down on, but...
What would you like to turn the volume down on? Oh, no.
But, when franchisors are speaking together, there's always like one person who says, people need to know more about franchising, and it should be like, I don't know, the BFA or EWIF doing it or something like that. And I just always think, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because, I'm probably people listening to this thinking, well, Imi, what are you doing? I'm not doing much at all. I could probably do more. But as you said, you're concentrating on the here and now. But what does frustrate me a little bit is they just assume that these organisations that have been built will then be able to do that, because the BFA and EWIF and different organisations who are trying to bang the drum about franchising, and actually your podcast, you'll have a smaller budget than any of us, any of the other franchisors. So why are you guys expected to do that? We should be standing collectively. We should be going to, business shows or trade shows, and perhaps non-competing, having a shared stand. And we don't. And I feel like we have this conversation crops up maybe a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. It always happens. And then, like you say, the BFA will make an attempt and have a campaign that's put out there, and it makes a small chip maybe in the grand scheme of things. But unless there's consistency, it's just going to drop off again, I'm afraid. So it's,
So I would
it's a difficult one.
And I don't think it's actually the BFA's role to do this, but it would be amazing in an ideal world if they had a role in the BFA that literally just said, right, Imi, you need to, how many talks have you done this month? I need some press stories so I can put out, like, do you know what I mean? But I don't think we'll get that, but
mixing some karaoke, and we've got a thing, right?
Go viral. There we go.
Yeah, no, but I agree. I think I sometimes feel like perhaps that's something I could do, is to pull together a load of brands and go out there and shout about it, and just have it consistently on. But I think I know what would happen. People would go, well, I'm not getting leads, why am I paying for this? And it's drops off. If you look at someone like Elite, they're kind of doing that to some degree through the platform they've got. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and you can't do all these things for nothing, can you? It's difficult.
It's so difficult. I think if we all collectively, I think it would make a small job with many of us on it, but we're not all willing to do it.
No, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not one for national something days, but the National Franchise Day that's sort of floating around this year, so many people posted around that.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great, but what I didn't love is there wasn't that much creativity that went with it. It just seemed like a post that had National Franchise Week on it, and that's the other thing. If we do something like that as an industry, I think I'd like people to get creative with it, really try and do something slightly different, even if it's just, I think I put it on I didn't have much time, so I put it on one of these fake billboard pictures that you see sort of some of the viral stuff, and thought, well, at least it's slightly different to the standard thing. And
I would say, though, it was our first year, and so I don't know if the concept actually came from Jen Chapman, who I'm sure you know.
Yeah, I know Jen, yeah.
So I think it was like her idea, and she was speaking to me, and she said, I just feel like I haven't done enough for National Franchise Day. Like, I want it to be a whole month. I was like, Jen, it's the first year.
Yeah, it's these things build. Yeah,
next year is going to be even bigger. More people are going to get involved. We'll all know it like months in advance. We can all plan something and just get a bit of noise about it.
I wasn't having a dig at Jen or the idea at all. I think it's a great idea. It's just, I think as individual brands, it'd be so good to have more of that, like have it in shop fronts, or 10% off if you mention it's National Franchise Day, or
that would be great.
Whatever those kinds of things are.
Maybe we should get our heads together, planning, and we do like recommendations, like, so that's kind of what we do for our franchisees. When something's coming up, you kind of get your social media pack, and you get your, I don't know, like your stuff to kind of talk about, and they're all kind of ready. We almost need to do that for the franchisors. So this is what
all you need to do is run through ChatGPT and just say, give me 20 ideas for social media posts that individual brands could use, or from different sectors, and say, here you go, here's your idea.
Perfect. Well, we've cracked it.
Yeah. Another one solved.
Thanks to the franchise podcast.
Excellent. So what would you like to turn the volume down on?
So I don't know if I can swear on this podcast.
Yeah, why not?
The bitching. I just think it's so bad.
For franchisees, franchisors, suppliers?
I think all. So I hear brands. I know some brands bitch about other brands, and I think the only person that looks badly on is the person doing the bitching, so I don't understand why they do it. But I think saying that to people who are outside of the franchising sector, that's completely, I know it probably makes that brand think, oh, well, they're going to go with me. Well, it completely discredits the franchising sector as a whole. If you're speaking badly about another brand, well, they're in the same sector as you, so you don't really look that much better. I don't think there's an excuse to talk badly about other businesses, unless, of course, I don't know, they've run off with someone's money, and fine,
Yeah.
That's absolutely more than fair enough. But if it's just because it's a competitor and you feel intimidated, then what's the point? And and this actually is a lot less. The volume's been turned down loads on this, but I used to go to some events with franchisors and franchisees actually, and there would be that bitching about their franchisee or their franchisor. And again, I don't understand that. Like, just have that conversation. It's a partnership. It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
So have that conversation and sort it out.
Yep, it's good. I like that one. And I've experienced it as well. I've had candidates say to me, I spoke to so and so the other day, and they said this about you, and that's why I came to you to speak. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what they're doing. They seem all right to me, but yeah, I was just in shock. Like, why would you try and? It wasn't a personal attack on me. It was on the brand, and they're not good enough at doing this, and they don't treat you like this. They do this, and it's like, well, you can meet the people if you like and make your own decision. I don't mind. Go and talk to them. But yeah, if you then go back and say bad things about them, you look worse. It was just was baffling.
It's bizarre.
And that person was like, yeah, it just turned me off, because if they're like that, like...
Good. That person's a good one, whoever they are, if you're listening.
Yeah. I can't remember who they were, what country they were from, or anything now. But yeah, it was just one of those that, yeah, it's just weird. You just think, oh, okay, well, it's their opinion, I guess. There's not a lot I can do about it. But yeah, it's mad.
A bad seed.
Yeah. Right, we're nearly at the end. So I need to know what anthem you're going to sing. Reflect yourself. You don't have to sing, obviously.
So I obviously have watched two, so I was like, oh, I think I've got the wrong brief. So I initially thought the song was like, what is it like, your journey so far, which I had a song for.
Yeah.
But then what is like your anthem? So I've got that as well.
To be honest, the questions are slightly evolving as time is going on. I'm not as well planned as you with this one, but I kind of like it. See where it goes, right? So yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
Which one am I?
Both.
Both, okay.
Yeah.
So, Journey, as a recovering people pleaser, it's Don't Let Me Down by the Chainsmokers, if you know that one.
Is it Don't Let Me Down, Bruce? No, that's a different song. I probably do know it.
You will know it.
Yeah, okay.
It's quite like, my music taste is like lots of different things, but pretty mainstream.
I think I know who the Chainsmokers are. You might like a band called No Cigar. Not because of the smoking thing, but I think generally the vibe
Okay.
is pretty similar. So they're fairly new, but they're good, yeah.
Okay, No Cigar. So that is that because I've consistently never wanted to let people down and like really stretch myself thin. But that's obviously the end of that. But then just in general, for like a song that I'm just like, yes, this is it. It would be Feel the Love by John Newman.
Feel the Love by John Newman.
Do that one?
Nice.
Rudimental and John Newman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Sorry, yes. It's because the rudimental bit sort of helped.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd think I'd know lots more of these songs, wouldn't you? But
so I'm awful with like names of songs. So when people say them, I'm like, I have no. And then I listen to it, and I'm like, of course, it's that song. It's difficult being put on the spot, just saying.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, they both go on there.
Oh, thanks.
With that. So why Feel the Love though?
I just feel it's one of those songs where you just feel I can do anything. Like I can. So music for me is if I'm in a bad mood and I want to sit in that bad mood, I've got a playlist for that. But if I'm I think music can really sway how you're feeling, but also help you work out how you're feeling. Yeah. And I'm quite bad with communicating how I feel because sometimes I don't know how I feel, so I need to kind of sit with it for a little bit. But that song for me has always just been one where if you're going into like a really tough meeting or you're on a run, and
I'll get you pumped up, gets the blood going.
Yeah, like I can do this. Let's get on. I can do it.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's good. I like that. I haven't thought of having. I don't think I've thought of what I think they call them pump tracks, and I don't know. It's the ones that get you pumped up anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it'd probably be some sort of Slipknot.
Playlist, like, huh?
Yeah, I don't. I'm just listening to whatever I listen to, but it'd be some sort of Slipknot where I scream, shout in a box on my own. That's not a karaoke one at all. Okay. But yeah,
that's all
that'd
right.
be cool. Cool. Well, I like it. Well, the songs will go on to the franchised jukebox. So, yeah. Add on to the Spotify playlist and have a little listen through. Listen to everybody else's as well. It'll be fun.
Thank you so much.
Nice one. Thank you so much for taking the time to come down and see me today and to share your story and your background and your thoughts with us. Really appreciate it. It's been great.
Yeah, me too. Not at all. Thank you.
Nice one. Oh, let's get the door open. It's hot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is hot. God, that went by so quickly.
This podcast was brought to you by The Franchised, helping franchisors to fine-tune their franchise recruitment to amplify their growth. Whether your franchise recruitment process isn't working or you need a marketing strategy to help you develop a way to find those franchisees that are right for your franchise, or you just need some content created like this podcast or video testimonials, whatever it may be, to develop a connection and build trust with your prospects, The Franchise can help you to do exactly that. Head on over to thefranchise.com to learn more.